Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Daily English Podcast. I'm Alex, and I'm truly happy you are here with me. Today, we will explore a life-changing book. This book can help you learn English in a focused, clear, and meaningful way. The book is called Essentialism. It is written by Greg McKeown. The word essential means something that is very important. It is something you really need. It is something you cannot live without. In this episode, my friend will narrate this book for you. He speaks slowly and clearly, like a friendly guide. He is here to help you feel calm and confident while listening. Essentialism means choosing only what is essential and letting go of everything else. It does not mean doing less work. It does not mean being lazy. It means doing the right work. It means doing the work that truly matters. Before we begin, I want to explain how this episode works. At the beginning, the language will be simple and familiar. This helps your brain warm up. Then, step by step, the language will become a little more advanced. This change is gentle and natural. This is how real language learning happens. It starts easy, then it slowly becomes richer, deeper, and more expressive. There is no pressure. In this episode, we will go chapter by chapter through the book. My friend will guide you through each part, and every idea will connect to your English learning journey. My goal is simple. Learning English does not mean studying everything. It means studying the right things. It means choosing quality over quantity. The word quantity means how much there is. It means the amount of something. Many learners think that more is always better, but often more creates confusion. More creates stress. More can push you away from real progress. So in this episode, I will show you a different path. I will show you how to choose less but better in your English learning journey. As always, my friend will speak slowly and clearly. If he uses a new or difficult word, he will explain it right away in the same sentence. You do not need to take notes. You do not need to study hard. Just sit with us. Listen. Breathe. Enjoy the story of this book. While you listen, you are already learning. This way of learning is called comprehensible input. Comprehensible input means English that is easy to understand, but still gives you something new. New words, new ideas, and new expressions. Now, let's begin.
This book is about choosing what truly matters. It teaches us how to do less and achieve more. It shows us how focus can change our work and our learning. Let me start with an important question. What if you could do less but achieve more? This is the main idea of this book. The author refers to it as the way of the essentialist. An essentialist is a person who focuses only on what is truly important. Now imagine this situation. You want to improve your English, but you feel overwhelmed. The word overwhelmed means feeling that there is too much to do. You have grammar books, you have vocabulary lists, you have pronunciation exercises, you practice writing, you join speaking clubs, you listen to podcasts and videos. Everything feels important, everything feels urgent. The word urgent means something that needs attention right now. In this situation, your brain becomes scattered. The word scattered means your attention goes in many directions and you cannot focus. You may study for many hours, but very little stays in your memory. You may work hard, but you do not see clear progress. Now imagine a different way, a calmer way, a smarter way. You choose only one thing. Maybe you choose listening. You decide that for 1 month you will focus only on understanding spoken English. You say no to grammar books. You say no to vocabulary lists. You say no to everything except listening. Suddenly your mind becomes calm. Your focus becomes strong. Your progress becomes easy to see. This is the way of the essentialist. The author explains something important. Most people never reach this clarity. Why? Because they believe everything is equally important. They carry too much mental weight. When your mind carries too much weight, even simple tasks feel difficult. The word exhausting means very tiring. As English learners, we often do this without noticing. We say to ourselves, I must learn all grammar tenses. I must know every phrasal verb. I must understand every accent. These thoughts feel heavy. They create pressure, and pressure makes learning harder, not easier. The essentialist asks a different question. Instead of asking, how can I do everything? The essentialist asks, what is the one thing that matters most? This question changes everything. It gives you permission to ignore many things. The word permission means allowing yourself to do something or not do something. Think about cleaning your room. If everything feels important, you do not know where to start. But if you choose one corner, one drawer, or one table, the task becomes easier. The word manageable means something you can handle easily. The author says clarity is the foundation of essentialism. The word clarity means clear understanding. When you start learning English, it helps to know what is most important for you right now. For example, you can say, I want to understand English podcasts. Or I want to read simple stories. Or I want to have basic conversations. When your goal is clear, your brain becomes strong. But when you try to do everything, your brain becomes weak. The author calls this the paradox of choice. The word paradox means something that seems strange but is actually true. Too many choices often lead to no action. The author also talks about the disciplined pursuit of less. The word disciplined means having control and regular habits. The word pursuit means following something closely. Together, this means choosing fewer things but choosing them well again and again. For English learners, this means saying no to most learning materials. It means choosing one good book instead of 10 average books. It means listening deeply to one podcast instead of jumping between many channels. It means learning 100 useful words instead of trying to remember 1,000 words you never use. Let me give you an example. Imagine two learners. The first learner downloads many apps, buys many books, and joins many courses. They jump from one thing to another, always looking for something better. After 6 months, they feel tired, they feel confused. Now imagine the second learner. This learner chooses one simple book. They read it slowly. They listen to the audio. They repeat the sentences. They understand every word. After 6 months, they can use those sentences naturally when they speak. This is the power of less but better. The author reminds us of something important. Being selective is not a luxury. It is a necessity. The word necessity means something you truly need. For English learners, being selective is not optional. It is the key to real progress. The essentialist also understands trade-offs. A trade-off means giving up one thing to get another thing. When you choose listening, you give less time to grammar. When you choose easy books, you give up difficult texts. These are not losses, they are smart, strategic choices. And this is the heart of essentialism. Now let's move to chapter 2. This chapter is about choice. The word choice means the ability to decide between different options. The author says something important here. Choice is not just something we have. Choice is something we are. Our lives are shaped by the choices we make. Every day we choose what to do, we choose what to ignore, we choose where to put our energy. But many people forget that they have choice. They feel trapped, they feel controlled by obligations. The word obligation means something you feel you must do. They say yes to everything. Why? Because they are afraid. They are afraid to miss opportunities. They are afraid to disappoint other people. But here is the truth. When you say yes to everything, you say no to what matters most. This happens very often in language learning. One person says, you must study grammar first. Another person says, vocabulary is more important. Another person says pronunciation is the key. Soon you are trying to do everything, and slowly you forget something important. You forget that you have the power to choose. The essentialist remembers this power. They understand something very clearly. Not choosing is also a choice. When you do not choose your focus, someone else chooses for you. Your time fills with other people's priorities. The word priority means what is most important. The author introduces a new idea here. It is called learned helplessness. This means believing you have no control even when you actually do. Many English learners suffer from learned helplessness. They think, I must follow this course. I must use this method. I have no other option. But this is not true. You always have choice. You can choose what to study. You can choose when to study. You can choose how to study. You can choose to focus on listening or speaking or reading. You can choose easy materials or challenging materials. These choices shape your learning journey. The key is to make deliberate choices. The word deliberate means done on purpose. Instead of drifting into activities, you choose them carefully. You ask yourself one question: will this help me reach my specific goal? For example, if your goal is to understand movies, studying academic writing will not help much. If your goal is conversation, memorizing rare literary words will not help you speak. These activities may be good, but they are not essential for your goal right now. The author also talks about the invincible power of choice. The word invincible means something that cannot be defeated. When you truly understand that you have choice, no one can force you to follow a path that does not serve you. You become free to design your own way. But this freedom comes with responsibility. The word responsibility means being accountable for your choices. When you choose your path, you cannot blame others if it does not work. But this responsibility is not heavy. It is freeing. The word liberating means giving freedom. You are no longer a victim of methods, rules, or other people's opinions. You are the decision maker. And this is the power of choosing like an essentialist. Now let's move to chapter 3. The title of this chapter is Discern. The word discern means to see clearly what is truly important. In this chapter, the author teaches us how to separate the important few from the unimportant many. The word vital means very important for success or life. The word trivial means not important. Most people spend their time on trivial things without noticing. The essentialist learns to see the difference. The author introduces the 90% rule. This rule is simple. When you think about an option, ask yourself this question: is this a clear yes? If the answer is not a strong yes, then the answer is no. If something is less than 90% right for you, you reject it. This rule sounds strict, but it protects your time and energy. For English learners, this rule is very useful. When you find a new book, a new app, or a new course, ask yourself, is this exactly what I need right now? If the answer is maybe, the real answer is no. If the answer is probably, the real answer is still no. Only a clear yes deserves your time. The author explains that most things in life are noise. The word noise here means distractions. Only a few things are signal. The word signal means useful and important information. The essentialist learns to hear the signal and ignore the noise. In English learning, noise can look like very advanced grammar rules. Noise can look like rare vocabulary words. Noise can look like perfect pronunciation when basic communication is your real goal. The signal is simple. The signal is what helps you communicate better right now. The author also talks about the power law. This idea is also called the Pareto principle. It means a small amount of effort creates most of the results. In language learning, this is very important. A small number of words, phrases, and patterns help you speak most of the time. For example, the most common 1,000 English words cover most daily conversations. Instead of trying to learn 10,000 words, focus on these 1,000 first. This is discernment in action. The chapter also teaches us to look for the highest point of contribution. This means finding the one thing that will help you the most. For some learners, this might be listening. For others, it might be pronunciation. For others, it might be basic grammar patterns. There is no single answer for everyone. The important thing is to find your answer. Ask yourself this question: what one improvement would unlock the most progress for me? When you find that answer, focus there. And for now, ignore everything else. This is not laziness. This is wisdom. This is the skill of discernment. And this is how the essentialist learns faster with less effort. Now let's move to chapter 4. The title of this chapter is Trade-off. A trade-off means choosing one thing and giving up another thing. Every choice has a trade-off. When you choose something, you also choose not to choose something else. The essentialist accepts this truth. They do not fight it. They understand something important. You cannot have everything. And more importantly, you do not need everything. Many people try to avoid trade-offs. They want everything. They want perfect British pronunciation and perfect American pronunciation. They want formal English and informal English at the same time. They want to read Shakespeare and also understand rap music. Trying to do everything leads to mastering nothing. The author asks a powerful question here. What am I willing to give up to get what I really want? This question creates clarity. It forces you to be honest about your priorities. The word priority means what matters most. For English learners, this question is very important. You may need to give up perfection to gain communication. You may need to give up very advanced materials and choose materials at your level. You may need to give up variety and choose deep practice with one resource. These choices may feel uncomfortable, but they are necessary for real progress. The author introduces another idea here. It is called straddling. The word straddle means trying to stand in two places at the same time. When you straddle, you are not fully committed to either side. You get the problems of both choices, and you get the benefits of neither choice. In language learning, straddling looks like this. You change methods every week. You start many courses, but you do not finish them. You collect books, apps, and videos, but you do not use any of them deeply. The essentialist avoids straddling. They make clear choices. They accept the trade-offs. They move forward without regret. They understand something important. Clarity is more powerful than variety. Commitment is more powerful than options. And this is why accepting trade-offs is a key skill of the essentialist. Now let's move to chapter 5. The title of this chapter is Escape. The word escape here does not mean running away. It means stepping back from noise, pressure, and constant activity. To become an essentialist, you need space to think. Without space, your mind stays busy. And when your mind is always busy, you cannot see what is truly important. The author explains something important. Thinking time is not wasted time. Thinking time is investment time. When you stop and think, you make better decisions. When you make better decisions, you save time later. This is how escape actually helps you move faster. For English learners, escape can look different. Sometimes escape means taking a walk without listening to English. Sometimes it means sitting quietly and reviewing what you already learned. Sometimes it means stopping and asking yourself, is my current method really working for me? The author also talks about the value of boredom. The word boredom means the feeling of having nothing interesting to do. In the modern world, we try to avoid boredom. We fill every quiet moment with phones, videos, and messages. But boredom has an important role. Boredom creates space for creativity. Boredom allows your brain to process information. It helps your mind connect ideas and store memories. Many learners are afraid of silence. They feel they must always study. They believe that more activity means more learning. But this is not true. Your brain needs rest. It needs quiet time to organize new information. This is where real learning happens, not during constant effort, but in the space between efforts. The essentialist respects this space. They create moments to step back, breathe, and reflect. This is not laziness. This is smart learning, and this is why escape is an essential part of progress. Now let's move to chapter 6. Look, the essentialist learns to see what other people do not notice. They look for patterns, they look for connections, they look for the most important truth under the surface. In learning English, this means noticing patterns instead of only learning rules. It means seeing how words connect instead of learning them alone. The word alone means by yourself, separated from others. The author talks about the importance of watching carefully. The word observe means to watch carefully and notice small details. When you observe how native speakers use English, you learn more than from a textbook. For example, textbooks may teach formal greetings, but observation shows most people just say hey or what's up. Textbooks may teach complicated tenses, but observation shows natives often use simple forms. The essentialist also looks for leverage points. The word leverage means using a small thing to get a big result. In learning English, some skills have big leverage. For example, learning to guess meaning from context helps you understand many new words. One skill can make a big difference. Now let's move to chapter 7. Play. The author says play is not unimportant. Play is important. The word play means doing something for fun, not serious work. Play actually helps us learn better. When you play with language, you remember it better. When you enjoy learning, your brain stays active. If learning feels like play, you do not need discipline to continue. For English learners, play can be watching funny shows in English. It can be singing songs even badly but happily. It can be making jokes in English. It can be talking to yourself with silly voices. Play also reduces stress. Less stress means better learning. Play encourages trying new things. When you play, you are not afraid of mistakes. This freedom helps learning grow faster. Many adults forget how to play. They think learning must be serious. Children learn languages fast because they play. They are not shy. They are not perfect. They just play and learn. Now let's move to chapter 8. Sleep. The author has a whole chapter for sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is very important for the essentialist. During sleep, your brain strengthens learning. The word consolidate means to combine and make stronger. Many learners give up sleep to study more. This is counterproductive. The word counterproductive means it makes the opposite result of what you want. If you lose sleep, you remember less. If you are tired, you understand less. Research shows sleep improves creativity, problem solving, and memory. For learners, sleeping after study helps lock in new words and patterns. Your brain practices while you sleep. The essentialist protects their sleep. They know 1 hour of sleep can be better than 2 hours of tired studying. They rest because rest makes everything else work better. Now let's move to chapter 9. Select. This chapter is about choosing carefully. The essentialist does not just pick good options, they pick the best options. The word exceptional means very, very good. The author suggests using narrow criteria. The word criteria means rules for choosing. Instead of asking, could this help me? Ask, will this help me the most? Instead of is this good? Ask, is this the best use of my time? For learners, this means choosing the best teachers, courses, and materials. Say no to good things to save time for great things. Wait for the right chance, not take every chance. The author talks about the 90% rule. If something is not 90% what you want, it is 0%. The word mediocre means average. This rule stops you from settling for okay choices. Now let's move to chapter 10. Clarify. The essentialist needs clear purpose. The phrase crystal clear means very, very clear. Without clear purpose, you cannot make important choices. The author says to write an essential intent. This is a short, clear statement of your main goal. For learners, it can be, I will understand English podcasts about psychology by December, or I will have comfortable conversations with colleagues by June. Notice these goals are specific and measurable, not vague like, I want to improve my English. Vague goals lead to unclear actions. Clear goals lead to clear actions. The author warns against too many goals. Many goals split your attention and create confusion. The essentialist picks one main goal and aligns everything to it. The word align means to put things in order. Now let's move to chapter 11. Dare. The word dare means to be brave, to do something difficult. This chapter teaches the courage to say no. Saying no is uncomfortable. We fear disappointing people or missing chances. But the essentialist knows saying no to good things lets you say yes to great things. Every yes uses your time and energy. Saying yes is also saying no to something else. The author gives ways to say no politely. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. I'm honored you asked, but I cannot commit now. For learners, this can mean saying no to study groups that do not fit your level, or hard materials that frustrate you, or advice that does not match your goals. Now let's move to chapter 12. Uncommit. Sometimes we need to uncommit. The word uncommit means to stop something you said yes to before. This feels hard, but staying with non-important things wastes time. The author talks about the sunk cost fallacy. It means doing something just because you already spent time or money on it. Past effort should not decide your next step. Ask, is this the best use of my time now? For learners, this may mean stopping a course that does not help or leaving a book that is not useful. The essentialist knows quitting non-essential things is not failure, it is smart. Now let's move to chapter 13. Edit. The essentialist always edits their life. The word edit means to remove what is not needed and improve what remains. Like a writer removes extra words, the essentialist removes extra activities. Editing means hard choices, cutting things you like but do not need, keeping only what helps your main goal. For learners, editing may mean fewer apps, fewer YouTube channels, fewer textbooks. Keep only the best and use them deeply. The author says to review and edit regularly. Each month ask, is this still essential? What was essential before may not be now. Needs change as you grow. Now let's move to chapter 14. Limit. The essentialist sets boundaries. The word boundary means a limit. Without boundaries, others' priorities take your time. Boundaries are not bad, they give freedom. Knowing your limits lets you fully focus on what matters. For learners, boundaries may mean fixed study hours. Saying no to social events to protect English practice. Limiting social media to save energy for learning. Now let's move to chapter 15. Buffer. The word buffer means extra space or time to protect from problems. The essentialist plans buffers. They expect the unexpected. Many people plan too optimistically. When problems come, plans fail. Essentialists plan realistically, add extra time, and prepare for obstacles. For learners, this means not expecting to remember everything immediately. Plan review time. Some days are harder. Build flexibility into your schedule. Now let's move to chapter 16. Subtract. The essentialist improves by subtracting, not adding. Instead of doing more, they remove what blocks progress. The author asks, what obstacle, if removed, makes everything easier? This focuses on the main problem. The word constraint means a limit. For learners, the constraint may be fear of mistakes. Remove it and speaking is easier. It may be perfectionism. Remove it and practice is fun. Now let's move to chapter 17. Progress. The essentialist focuses on small wins. The word win means a success. Small wins build confidence and momentum. The author says to celebrate small progress. Did you understand one new sentence today? Celebrate. Did you speak English for 1 minute? Celebrate. Small improvements compound, meaning they grow bigger over time. For learners, it can be understanding 10% more or speaking with less hesitation. Small steps create big results. Now let's move to chapter 18. Flow. The essentialist makes routines that make important tasks automatic. Automatic means you do not need to think, you just do it. Routines create freedom. It seems strange, but routines remove tiredness from too many decisions. The word fatigue means very tired. For learners, a routine may be listening to English while having breakfast, reading one page before bed, or speaking while walking. These routines make practice natural. Now let's move to Chapter 19. Focus. The essentialist gives full attention to now. They do not multitask. The word multitask means doing many things at once. Multitasking lowers quality and increases stress. For English, focus means doing one activity completely. When listening, just listen. When reading, just read. No phones, no thinking about other tasks. Being present increases learning. You learn faster, remember more, and understand better. Now let's move to Chapter 20. Be. This chapter brings everything together. The word be means to exist, to live, to become something. The essentialist does not only do essential tasks, they become an essentialist. It becomes who they are. For learners, this means becoming someone who learns English naturally every day, not forcing, not stressing, just being someone who engages with English in essential ways. Essentialism is not about doing more faster. It is about doing the right things well. Less but better. Make the biggest result with least friction. The word friction means difficulty or resistance. Essentialism teaches us to focus on what really matters. Do less but do it better. Say no to distractions, choose the best opportunities, and build habits that work. Live and learn with purpose, clarity, and joy.
My friends, we have come to the end of our journey through essentialism. Let me leave you with the most important lesson. You do not need to learn everything. You only need to learn what is essential for your own goals. Stop trying to study every grammar rule. Stop trying to memorize every word. Stop trying to improve every skill at the same time. Instead, choose one important area and focus on it. Go deep, not wide. Learn the basics well before moving to harder ideas. Focus on communication, not perfection. Remember, being an essentialist does not mean doing less work. It means doing the right work. It means making choices that match your real goals. It means saying no to good options so you can say yes to better options. In your English journey, be careful with your choices. Choose your learning materials wisely. Focus deeply. Practice regularly. Rest when you need to. And most importantly, trust this idea. Less but better brings more progress than doing many things in a scattered way. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for listening carefully, breathing calmly, and learning with focus. I'm Alex, and this is the Daily English Podcast. I believe in your ability to learn and master English by making essential choices. Stay focused, stay selective, and remember, less but better is the path to more. Goodbye for now, my friends.